Welcome to the Matt McKeever Show, episode number 4. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. It's been a long time since I made one of these shows. Vegas and a bunch of other things have been taking a lot of my time, a lot of my prioritization, but I'm back, I'm committed. We're going to be doing this again. It's going to become a weekly show, the Matt McKeever Show. I'm just going to talk to you guys about things that are topical that I want to discuss with you. And I even dressed up to make up for the fact that it took me so long to come out with episode number 4. So, in today's episode, we're specifically going to be talking about why the financial independence retired early community, the FIRE community, has a branding issue. We're going to talk about 2019 goals because it's never too early to start planning for the future, to start planning for your 2019 goals because we're only 45 days out from the new year. I mean, it's perfect timing to start setting goals. And otherwise, I'm going to talk to you about why it's my favorite time of the year, and it's got nothing to do with Christmas. Anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's get into it. Matt McKeever Show number 4. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going with a new format. I'm dressing up a little bit more. We're going to take this a bit more seriously, and I'm going to commit to doing this weekly for you guys. So the whole idea behind this show is far too often there's topics that are either just topical, random things going on in the world, or maybe it doesn't fully deserve a full video, but I still want to bring it to your attention. I still want to discuss it with you guys. So I'm hoping that this show, this format, gives me that ability to have more in-depth, topical conversations with you guys because I really want to foster a community. And speaking of the community I'm fostering, specifically, we just got back from the Vegas entrepreneur experience. So if you guys hadn't been following me, particularly on Instagram, you may not know what's up with that, but essentially, myself and Jeff Weibel bought out a 63-room hotel, the Artisan Boutique Hotel in Las Vegas, and we filled it with entrepreneurs. We essentially were calling it Frosh Week for entrepreneurs, you know, a slumber sleepover, all that great stuff. And honestly, it exceeded my greatest expectations. And the reason it exceeded my greatest expectations was because of you guys, because of the community I'm building, because of the relationships I'm having. And it honestly blew me away to get to meet so many of you from across the world. The fact that people came from Australia, Germany, Hawaii, and all across North America, it meant so much to me. As well, the fact, I actually should have brought them out, but multiple people gave me gifts, and that was just so meaningful. And it wasn't about the gift itself, but the thought behind the gift. In particular, I want to give a shout out to Wes. Actually, I think I have one right here. Wes gave me, this is like a whiteboard notebook, guys. This is the future. The future's here. I'm never going to use another notebook again because of Wes. So thank you, Wes, for that. I really appreciate it. It was also just great getting to meet some of you that have been longtime commenters that, you know, I feel like we've had a relationship, but now to be able to put a face to the name was just so awesome. So in particular, shout out to Jacob Gill. I know you were really excited to meet me. I was really excited to meet you. The whole team appreciates the book you gave us. We've currently started reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck because Jacob bought 5 copies for my channel, or for my team related to my channel. And specifically what we're going to do with those copies, we're actually going to go through them, read them, mark them up, highlight it, do all that stuff. And then we're going to give away our copies to you guys so that you can check out and see what we took away from that book. So I hope you guys kind of enjoy that. Otherwise, let's talk about the FIRE movement's branding issue. And so you guys are probably familiar with this if you're a longtime viewer of my channel, but I've been talking about this issue that the financial independence retired early community has had for a long time. I'm not the first one to discover it. You know, Jacob Lund-Fisker, Pete from Mr. Money Mustache, they've all came up against this roadblock. And it's a lot of people have preconceived notions about the RE part of FIRE. And so that's the retired early. Far too many people think that a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 35-year-old that's going to retire, simply all they want to do is play golf, hang out on the beach, and let their body rot away. That's so far from the truth. I barely even know where to begin, guys, because I'd like to think I'm a perfect example of what you can do with financial independence. So just over 2 years ago, I quit my day job. I retired early because I had reached financial independence. And now that wasn't the end of my journey. That was actually just the beginning. That was the beginning chapter, was me getting to financial independence. The whole book, the whole meat of the book is just, it's this right now. It's me, it's YouTube, it's the education stuff we're doing, it's the meetups we're doing, it's the experiences we're doing, it's everything else that I've been doing. It's, to me, what financial independence retired early is really all about. It, for me, was the Vegas entrepreneur experience. And I want to share with you guys one specific moment in Vegas that really, really hit my heartstrings. And a lot of you kind of make fun of me for not being overly emotional. I may get a little emotional with this one. Saturday night of the Vegas Entrepreneur Experience. So we're one day into this event that me and Jeff had been planning for 90 days. I'd put my heart and soul into it, really focused on trying to create the absolute best user experience. And so there we are, sitting in one of the suites in Vegas. It's like 1 or 2 a.m. and someone just comments saying how I've changed their life. And it was just so meaningful to have that individual talk to me about how I changed their life. The crazier thing about that was they weren't the only one in this conversation. So then someone else spoke up and said, actually, yeah, Matt's changed my life too. And then someone said, well, raise your hand if Matt's changed your life. And all of a sudden, everyone that was in that conversation with me raised their hands. That to me, that's what financial independence is about. That's what the Retired Early community is about. It's about us being able to find our tribe. It's about us being able to find our wolf pack and come together and really experiment and do crazy, unusual things that no one does in real life. So for example, myself, on my financial independence journey, once I hit FIRE, one of the crazy things I did that no one does in real life is myself, Kellen, and Peter started up a YouTube incubator. Now that YouTube incubator failed. It failed quite miserably, actually. But it was an experiment that we would have never been able to do if I wasn't financially independent, retired early. And so that's why I've started, rather than just focusing on FIRE or financial independence or retired early as an acronym, I've started bringing up the topic of FIREpreneurship. And so what that means to me, why FIREpreneurship is so important to me is, it's really about getting yourself to financial independence, getting yourself to the bare minimum, become conscious of your consumption, and then use that as a platform to take whatever crazy experiments, whatever crazy gambles on your ideas, your life, what version of the world you want to create. Then you can go do that shit, guys. That to me is what financial independence is about. That's what retiring early is all about. And that's what I want to share with you guys. Because it's really unfortunate when I see people like Suze Orman constantly berating the financial independence community. And now I know that since that Afford Anything interview, she's came out and re-explained her position. I know Mr. Money Mustache did an article on it as well. And I just want to highlight that article from Mr. Money Mustache was such a perfect response in my opinion, because far too often I find people, when they start arguing against or with me about financial independence, retiring early, we're not even arguing about the same thing. They're arguing about some straw man they've created that they want to tear down. And I'm talking about a philosophy, a way of life that's not rigid, that's actually quite flexible. If we actually take the time to sit down and listen to each other, I think we'd come to the realization, like Suze Orman did, that we're not actually that far apart, guys. A lot of us want the freedom. We want the opportunity to take control of our lives and see what we can make happen. And that to me is what financial independence, retired early is all about. That's why we got a branding issue, and that's why each and every one of us needs to be focused on trying to help spread the word, spread the gospel that is financial independence, retired early. Speaking of being financially independent, retired early, I just want to give a huge shout out to the London on Fire community. So we're coming up to our 2-year anniversary. So it's just over 2 years ago that myself and Dylan were just hanging out at my house, chatting about how we need to create a meetup group for all these cool people we were meeting that were focused on financial independence. And we just did it. We took the action. Dylan literally hopped on my internet, set up a Facebook group called London on Fire. Shout out to Dylan for the name. It's amazing. It's a sick name, Dylan. I love the name so much. London on Fire wouldn't be London on Fire without that name. Fast forward 2 years since just hanging out at my house with Dylan, we now have over 1,000 members, and we're coming up to what I believe is our 24th or 25th meetup. And it's just amazing. You guys know I'm a huge believer that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. What we're doing with London on Fire, it's honestly even more than that. It's truly a tribe. If you find yourself adrift, if you have no one else to talk to, you need to come out to a London on Fire meetup, or you need to create your own chapter in your own city, because you are the average of the 5 people you're spending the most time with. There's no two ways about it. And if you're not doing something to help them level up, if you're not doing something to level up the people around you, it's going to be such a struggle to get yourself to level up. Be lazy, take the easy path like I do, and surround yourself with killers, surround yourself with winners by coming out to meetups like the London on Fire meetup. Otherwise, I just want to thank every single one of you that have came out, whether it's once or to every single London on Fire meetup. It's because of you that we have the amazing community we have. It's every person that comes out and asks a question, shares an answer, shares a resource, opens up their Rolodex. That's what we're creating here. That's what's so amazing. Anyways, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that's ever been part of London on Fire. It's still just the beginning. I can't wait to see where we're going to go with it. So, London on Fire is something I couldn't have even imagined 3 years ago, and yet now we have over 1,000 members. That kind of just organically happened. That happened by dumb luck. However, a lot of the stuff that I've been doing recently hasn't been happening because of dumb luck. It's happened because I've been setting goals, making plans, and then trying to execute on those plans. And so I want to talk to you guys about 2019 goals. Now I know it's only mid-November 2018, but it's actually a perfect time to start thinking about the future. Last year, I started thinking about the future around this time, started thinking about what I wanted to actually have my life become. If you guys don't remember, about a year ago, I was kind of still a bit adrift. I was doing a lot of talks about the dark side of financial independence. I felt less tethered to society, to the people around me than I do today or than I had in the past. The fact that I no longer feel that way, again, isn't by accident. It actually took some effort, some thinking, some planning, and some execution. And so specifically, some of the goals that I set around that time was starting to think about the idea of bigger events, about creating bigger communities and creating bigger engagement with my audience. And while I didn't know at the time, at the start of 2018, what that would lead to, when the right opportunity presented itself, when myself and Jeff attended Rain's Acre event, we knew immediately that we needed to go out and create OREC, our version of a real estate conference, our version of a real estate mastermind for 2 days. That was the most wonderful thing I've probably ever done with my life. If you guys know me personally, we've probably talked about it. OREC was literally the best day of my life, the Sunday of it. And it was because of the community I've built through YouTube. It's because of all these videos I've created. And again, that stuff didn't happen overnight. I couldn't have done OREC without doing all the work that led up to it. And while I maybe didn't set out initially with that goal of hosting OREC, I set out with that goal of making a difference, of creating a community. And then the moment the opportunity presented itself, I was able to recognize it because I'd been planning and thinking about what I wanted my future to become. And so specifically, some of the big goals we've started planning for 2019 that I want to share with you guys. I know a few of you know because Jeff Weibel already let the cat out of the bag on one of his live videos, but we're going to be doing a lot more events in 2019, like a lot more. A lot more. I mean, all the events. We're going to be doing all the events in 2019. We committed to 12 major events in 2019. John's already thrown in a 13th one. So now we're doing 13 major events in 2019, more than one a month. We're also going to be doing a Weibel limo tour once a month. And then I'm still going to be hosting all the regular meetups I do, like the Real meetup, like the London on Fire meetup. Bigger Pockets is still going to be going on. Larry's still going to be going on. Henri is going to be going on. Those are just 5 real estate and financial independence meetups in London alone that either I'm involved with or I attend on a monthly basis. That's just the beginning. It's still honestly just the beginning for us for 2019. And I'd love it if right now is just the beginning of your 2019. So what you guys need to do, the way I like to approach goal setting is I like to sit down and just give myself some white space and think about what did I enjoy this year? What did I not enjoy this year? What am I disappointed by this year? And what was I unexpectedly surprised by this year? And then kind of try and see if I can see themes related to those. So if I look back on 2018 for myself, one of the common themes is that OREC and the Vegas Entrepreneur Experience were literally the 2 best experiences of my life. And they both happen to involve me planning events for other people and really focusing on the user experience. It feels like a natural conclusion to come to that I should be planning more experience, more events. So that's why we've made this major commitment to do way more events, because I know it's going to give me personal satisfaction. And it seems like when I'm getting personal satisfaction, it spills over to other people. So that's one of my major goals for 2019. Again, every week I want to be chatting with you guys about your goals leading up to 2019 here on the Matt McKeever Show. So jump in the comment section down below and don't tell me your goals for 2019. Just tell me something you really enjoyed in 2018. And maybe let's discuss if there's a theme there that you're going to want to lead into 2019 with. One more quick thing I want to discuss with you guys about before we wrap up this video is shout out to Michael Rosehart. Michael Rosehart got to interview the godfather of early retirement, Jacob Lund-Fischker. You guys know I've talked about Jacob all the time. I'm a huge lover of this book. I've given away over 100 copies of it. I refer to it as my Bible. I highly recommend you check it out. But if you want to meet the man behind the book, you need to go over to Michael Rosart's channel. Check out the interview with Jacob. It's amazing. I loved it. I'm probably going to rewatch it. Definitely jump over. I'll throw a link in the video description down below, along with a link to all the other things I've discussed. So if there's any articles you want to check out, any of that good stuff, links as always in the video description down below. So why is it my favorite time of the year? Well, I'll give you some guesses, but first of all, it has nothing to do with the holidays, nothing to do with Christmas, nothing to do with crazy consumption. It actually has to do with this, with the snow. And so you guys are probably thinking, wait, Matt, I've heard you complain about Canadian winters. I'm pretty sure I've even heard you say, fuck Canadian winters. I never want to experience another one of them again. That's completely true. I did say that. But the great thing about this white stuff is not the fact that you can make snowballs, but you can. The great thing about snow is no one wants to work when it's snowing. No one wants to work over the holiday season. So if someone's looking to sell their house, it's not for the usual reasons. No one wants to move their kids during the school year. No one wants to move over the holidays. No one wants to sell their house during the holidays. So if someone's selling their houses, it means it's for an unusual reason. It means there's an unusual opportunity. It means it's the best time of the year to buy a house, guys. So if you've been thinking about investing in real estate, you need to do it now when the market's cooling off because of all this white shit. Because fuck Canadian winters, I don't want to deal with them either, but we might as well make some money because of them. So let's go, let's buy some houses, let's get some deals, let's make some money, guys. Thanks, bye. Yeah, I really don't like Canadian winters. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and otherwise, let's go make some money so we don't gotta deal with Canadian winters, because this shit's bullshit. I don't want to ever clean a car again. Fuck that.